Hello and welcome to the CNA Instructor's Secret Cocktail. I'm your pusher, Victoria Randall, and today I get a lot of questions about this, so I thought I'd go ahead and make a video about this, and that's about what is a surety bond. If you have been looking to open up a CNA school, you're looking at the Department of Education's requirements, there's this element that talks about either a financial guarantee or a surety bond, and that can be very confusing because a lot of people have no idea what a surety bond is. So I'm going to dive into that topic today, so let's go ahead and get started. When will you need this, right? What is it and when will you need it? So let's talk about that. A financial guarantee may be purchased as an surety bond. Basically, it is exactly what it sounds like, a financial guarantee. If you apply for a CNA school, in the paperwork you see this surety bond, this is what they're referring to. It basically means that you're purchasing insurance to cover you in the event that your school is to go out of business. So let's say you've been running a school for 2 years and then suddenly, freak of nature, something happens and your school goes out of business. There has to be some type of financial guarantee to your students for their tuition. I know you've heard about those nursing schools or different schools where one day the students finally show up to school and the doors are closed and the place is no longer in operation. What happens to those students in terms of where do they go? And then what happens to their tuition, right? So you have to have some type of a teach out process talking about where you're going to send those students in the event that you have to close down. But then there's also how are you going to get them their money back? Okay, so that's where the surety bond comes into play. So this is for anyone who's looking to become a private center. It can also be referred to as a proprietary school. Some states refer to it as basically any type of institute of higher education, a vocational training school, any of those, okay? So if your state has language that refers to you as any of those, this is what they mean, okay? Again, if your school goes out of business, how are those people covered? Now, you might be asking yourself, well, what is the amount? How much do I have to buy? And that varies depending upon the state's requirements. Whatever, some states have, like I said, Department of Higher Education. Some have higher education commissions, any of those. So once you find out who your entity is over your nurse aid training school, then you can contact them, reach out and find out how much do I have to have. So here are some factors. A bond may be determined based upon if you're a new school or if you've been in operation for some time. If there was a change in ownership, or are you the owner and have always been the owner? Okay. Do you have additional locations, or is there just one location? Are your students distant learners, or are they actually on campus? And, just what is your financial situation as a owner? And if you have any business partners, what are their financial obligations, their assets, things of that nature. So they are really looking at the big picture, okay? So some of the things they're looking at may be that they want to multiply your tuition amount, and then they'll multiply that by the amount of students you can have. So let's say that your permit says that you can have no more than 200 students in a year, right? But your student tuition is $1,000. So 1,000 multiplied by that 200 is about $200,000. So you need to have a financial guarantee of at least $200,000, and that's just a part of it. Remember, they are looking at those other financial obligations that you have, but this is just an example. So how much assets do you have on board? Do you have on board that much? If not, then you need to file for an surety bond to cover you in case you have to pay that out. All right. So again, they're going to be looking at your income, your assets, your liabilities to help determine that financial surety bond. So prior to approval, you have to have this surety bond on hand in order to get approved. To find out your state's formula for your surety bond, please reach out to your higher education commission or approving body or whoever they are for CNA schools. Talk to them and find out what is the formula so that you can make sure that your application fits that when you submit it, okay? They may also refer to, again, remember their entities may be a proprietary school. They may refer to you as a post-secondary school. Whatever the terminology is, find out, and then find out that you're going to meet this surety bond requirement and find out how much that insurance could be, okay? If you have any other questions about this process, please feel free to reach out to me. I do consult for individuals to help them start CNA schools in all 50 states. I'd be happy to talk to you about helping you figure out what that process would look like for you. Anyone who is trying to fill out the application for this portion, I usually do one-on-one, or I do seminars where I come to the state to help you guys, because whenever you are going through the Higher Education Commission, it is a lengthy, time-consuming process, and sometimes it is very confusing. So I am here, Victoria Randall, your pusher, to help you through the way if you like. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. I will answer. Have a good one.